Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It is Nick Isgro, your Central Maine Realtor with eXp Realty. Today we're going to break down some of the statistics from June in the market so you can see the market trends, and there's a lot of interesting stuff. Stick around, you're not going to want to miss it. Hey everybody, welcome back. Like I said, today we're going to be doing a June market update, and we're going to break down some of the statistics that are going to show us some of the market trends so you can have an idea whether you're a buyer or a seller of what's going on here in the Central Maine market. Now there's a real twist that's going to come at the end here, so whether you're a buyer or a seller, stick around because you're not going to want to miss that. Now before we go any farther, please do me a favor. I would like you to go ahead and like this video, hit the subscribe button, knock that little alarm bell over here, and you will be alerted to any new content that I'm going to be putting out in the future as it comes out. So if this interests you, if you're interested, obviously you're tuning into this channel, go ahead and do that and you're going to get more content coming in the future. All right, now one more thing. A lot of people are going to do these market updates and they're just going to throw tons of big numbers at you. I'm not going to do that. Not that the numbers aren't important, and we will get into some of them, but what I really want you to focus on today is the trend lines, okay? Because it's really the trends that are going to paint the fuller picture, and when we come to the end, we're going to be able to wrap it all up and get the sense of what that's showing us. All right, guys, go ahead and take a look at this chart over here. This is homes sold over the course of the last 12 months. You can see last July, we ended at about 225 homes sold. This past month of June, we sold 191. If this trend line continues, you can see the normal seasonal dip. We're coming back up. It looks like we are on track to probably get about where we were last year. This is a good sign. It shows the market is healthy and we're not slowing down. The market is going to continue to move if this trend line continues of homes sold. Now these next two charts I'm going to show you are going to be really important, okay? Because what they're going to show is, although we're trending to sell roughly about the same number of homes as last year, there's some really interesting things happening in the market. All right, now take a look at this chart, okay? This is the sale to price ratio. So what does that mean? Sale to price ratio is just the amount that people are paying for the home compared to the list price. So if you have a $100,000 home, somebody buys it for $90,000, the sale to price ratio on that is 90%. You can see on this chart here that a year ago, we were at about 97% sale to price ratio. So again, that's people were paying roughly about 97% of the list price by the time they had closed on the homes. What's happening now as we close out June? We're at 102%. What does that mean for you if you're a seller or a buyer? Well, it means that by and large, people are coming into the offers willing to negotiate a price that is higher than the list price. In a competitive market, not totally out of whack, but you can see this is the first time in a long time we're seeing this trend. If this continues, it's going to eventually just keep driving the values upward. Now, looking at it as it tails off over the last 2 months, it does look like it might be starting to hover off there. If it stays hovering off like that, what's going to happen? We're going to go ahead and see these prices level off and the values will start to level off. We're not quite there ready to say that that's going to happen. We need to kind of see a few more months and see where this goes. Now, this is a really interesting statistic. This is the days on market. So this is the number of days that a home sits listing as an active listing before it gets sold, before it goes under contract. Now, what you can see is a year ago, we were at about an average of 45 days on the market. And that average has fluctuated a little bit, but it hasn't had any extreme swings. Here we are in the month of June, and this number is plummeting to 14 days on the market. That means that it's really only about 2 weeks that homes are being on the market and before they're being sold. Even though it's clear that the purchasing is becoming a lot more aggressive, it should be also clear that we're hearing a lot of stories of, wow, this house is only on the market for 1 day and you're never going to get a house. That might be true in some cases, and that is happening. I just had a house a week ago that was on the market for about 24 to 48 hours and we had a contract on it. But you can see from this, even though we're drastically tightening, it's really still not statistically proving out. You're still going to have a couple of weeks as houses are sitting on the market before they go under contract. Let's move on to this next statistic that I find really important and really just interesting. This is the absorption rate. So what does that mean in real estate? Well, we're going to look at the absorption rate in months. So essentially all that means is that if we were to cease putting any new listings on the market, it would take this amount of months in order to sell the stock that we currently have. Judging by this curve, you can see about a year ago, we had about 2.5 or maybe 2.46 months of supply of homes on the market. It dipped way down. A couple of months ago, we had about a month of supply. Now we're starting to see that trend swing like this. So we're coming back up. We're still only at about 1.46 months of inventory. That's not a lot, guys. That's still a seller's market, okay? That means that there's regular turnover. As homes are coming on, they're going off. We saw that in the average days on market, and we are seeing that in the number of homes sold. We're moving them off the market, but it is starting to swing back up, and that's a good sign. That's a good trend for you buyers out there. That means that the inventory dipped basically to a low point, and now we're starting to dip back up. A few sellers out there, it means it's still a good time to sell, but it could be trending into more of a buyer's market. We have yet to see that. I think we're a long ways off right now. All right, guys, now this last chart I want to show you is something that I find really interesting, and it could be great news for you buyers out there. This is the new listings coming onto market. Now, a year ago, we ended July with about 253 homes, new listings coming onto the market here in Central Maine. You can see now we're at 290, and this is the highest point we have seen in a year. If this trend continues and this line continues to traject this way, that's going to be great news for you buyers, because even though we have less days on market, even though we have people putting more money down than the list price, it means that there's more of a chance for you buyers. We still have a glut of buyers in the system looking for homes. And if this line goes up, that means the homes are gonna come on and they're gonna get a chance to buy that home. All right, so I am gonna get into a little bit of numbers here, and I don't want you to focus so much on the numbers as basically the trends as we've been doing this whole video. Looking at this year over year, we can see last June, this June. It is not surprising that with a full month less of supply on the market and with less days on market on average before these are going under contract, we've seen a 26% increase in the average list price and the average sold price. So homes still, if you're a seller out there, it is a great time to get in. We don't know how long these trends are gonna go, but now you can see still an incredibly strong market to get that home sold. There's a little caveat that I want to add to the end here, okay guys, because we're hearing a lot of propaganda out there, and some of it can be confusing and some of it can be discouraging, especially if you're a buyer in this market. You know, the rates are still great, the lenders are lending money, we can see more homes coming on the market, but what people are hearing is, oh my goodness, you know, it's taking 30 to 50 offers before we get something accepted. I actually heard that on the radio, and all I'm thinking, guys, listen, in this business, who you work with matters. If you are putting in 30 to 50 offers before you get a contract on a home, I'm sorry to say this, but you have the wrong representation. You've got to be aggressive. You have to be willing to do what it takes. We've seen some of the trends. We know what's going on with the numbers. But this information should give you the confidence you need in order to get out there and get the home of your dreams. So don't be discouraged if you're a buyer. There's lots of opportunities out there still to get that home that you're looking for. Okay, to wrap it all up, guys, it is still a strong seller's market. There's just no going around that. But the trends are showing that people are buying the homes, they're getting into the homes, and for the first time in a long time, we are seeing the highest level of new listings coming onto market. That could be great news for the buyers that are out there. And over the next couple of months, we're going to continue to watch these. We're going to continue to bring this information to you. So I hope this video is adding value, giving you confidence as you're going out to the marketplace. Like I said at the beginning of the video, if you like this content, if you want to see more of it, you're engaged in the market, it's interesting to you, you want to become the best buyer and seller of your abilities, I want to be there to help you, please do go ahead. Don't forget, like this video, hit subscribe, knock that little alarm bell, and we will see you next time.